Hey guys, I'm Alana from Win Win,
And I'm Amanda from Win Win.
and welcome to this rapid fire where we are going to be answering all of your questions that you've been sent in one shot, and then we're also going to cut it up into little videos and send them out again. So we're going to just be basically asking each other questions, and then we're going to answer them, and potentially just the other person will add on some more information from all the questions that you guys have sent in. So the first one we're going to go with Amanda. What do you not put on a resume?
I'm going to give maybe the top five or the top four. But first of all, we don't want to see your age. We don't want to see a photo. We don't want graphics. We don't want your hobbies. What else am I missing?
Your birthday, your marital status, your driver's license number.
I don't
That's
know what's going on.
yeah, there's a you
Okay,
had like balloon situation again.
I don't know.
Yeah, there are a
Yeah,
lot of
marital
things.
status. We don't want that.
Yeah, a lot of things to not put on your resume. Why? Because sometimes it can just be detrimental, and recruiters can unofficially discriminate against you because they find out that you're 70 as opposed to a 20-year-old. Stuff like that doesn't really matter. Ethnicity, why would you put that on there? Unless you're trying to like play the diversity card. Well, that could work. But yeah, other than that, I'd say that's pretty much those are the main things not to put on a resume. If we go into the ATS stuff, that is like massive. That's an all day combo. Anything else to add on that one,
Hmm.
Amanda?
Not on that one. I'm going to shoot the next one to you. Do you need a cover letter?
Yes and no. It depends. If a company asks for one, 100%. Like when we do our resume and cover letter packages, we give you a cover letter because some employers will 100% ask for it. I know I never read cover letters. If we've got a job out there, don't worry about sending me a cover letter. I don't care because all that information should be clearly listed in your resume, 100%. It should be hitting those keyword words 100%. One of the exceptions to the rule is if you don't have that much of an employment history, such as let's say you finished high school or you haven't had that many jobs, yes, you need a cover letter because that cover letter then can be the catalyst to emphasize the key selling points and close that gap between what you've been doing and the job that you're going for. So yes and no.
Right.
Right. The next one is Amanda. What is the difference between a cover letter and a selection criteria?
Okay, so first of all, if you come across a selection criteria, my first advice is get prepared. Do not do this the night before, and do not do this when you've got 24 hours before the job closes. The selection criteria is your ability to be able to translate and articulate your examples of how you can do the question. So, for example, if they are asking you to be able to describe a situation where you have had to deal with XYZ, a selection criteria is your answer. Your answer needs to describe how you did it, how you identified it, what was the solution, what was the action that you took, and potentially using the star method. But the selection criteria is a much detailed response, whereas a cover letter is really about your introduction to the employer, really kind of highlighting some key essential skills and kind of just giving them another ability to be able to just flash in front of them some information that might be relevant to the job advertisement and also giving them an introduction to yourself. Anything else to add on that one?
That's pretty spot on. Hey, some cover letters that I've seen, they're mainly for government, and basically
Mhm.
some of them are so intense. If you are
With
going
the
up,
selection criteria, you
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Sorry.
selection criteria, sorry. Yeah, if
Mm.
you require a selection criteria written, you need to that's when you bring in the professionals 1,000,000% because that is literally going to make or break the fact to whether the employer is actually going to go to your resume or not. 100%. Sometimes within like the mining industry, they don't care about the cover letter. They're going to go straight to the resume if it gets past the applicant tracking system. So spot on there, Amanda.
Yeah. Okay, what is involved in a group interview?
Oh, good one. There are so many different factors to this. And obviously, like the whole objective of it is for employers to be able to have a look at the way that you are engaging with different team members, being able to assess how you will, like, gel, I guess, for lack of a better word, with different personalities and also where you fit into the scheme. Are you a leader? Are you that person sitting in the middle, or are you the person, the snowflake at the back? Oh, should I use that word? Don't know if that's appropriate these days. But basically, some of the things that you can be doing are like exercises, like as a team, you need to like, this is a scenario such as there's a cyclone coming in, there's a little town over here. How do you prioritize, like getting the generators filled, like, making sure everyone's got emergency water, coordinating, picking up some of the people, all that sort of stuff. That might actually be a question in a group interview. Now, the key to nailing a group interview is you don't want to be that number one loudmouth standout person who everyone would be like, they can answer all the questions, but they're a wee bit annoying. You also don't want to be on the other scheme or the other end of it, where you are the person who is not saying anything, not engaging properly, and you're just basically sitting back. You want to be to the middle, to the top. That's the key area where you want to be to showcase your personality. So you're not like, 100% being that annoying person, but you're still putting in your 2 cents, and you are like, contributing to the group. Because when you're out on the mines, especially, it's a dangerous environment. They want people who can speak up, not somebody who's just going to be like, oh, I can see a hazard coming, but I'm not going to do anything about it. Yeah, that's that. Anything to add on that, Amanda?
And also, yeah, I do. I just do have one, and that is making sure that you're actually like listening to when they're actually providing these instructions in that group interview framework, because they're actually monitoring you to be able to see how well you're taking instructions and how well you're following instructions. Because if you're only able to execute a task halfway through and you're forgetting the second half of the task, that's demonstrating to them that you're absolutely not able to digest information and you're able to not follow instructions.
100%.
Next one, Alana.
Yeah.
Age limits in mining.
Oh my God, this is my favorite question. I only answer it 1,000 times a day on my TikTok channel and lives. Okay, there is no age limit. Employers cannot officially, right? I'm saying officially discriminate against somebody based upon their age. If you can pass the pre-employment medical, you're good to go. Keep in mind though, it comes down to like the obvious situations of do you have relevant experience to the job that you're going for? If so, that experience can go and be classified way higher than somebody who doesn't have any experience. But on the same token, if you're like, let's say 55, 60, 65, and you're attempting to apply for traineeships, employers want longevity. So it can actually be detrimental against you on the same token. So as long as you can pass that pre-employment medical and you're being realistic and you're able to be applying for jobs that you have the relevant experience and qualifications for, you have a way better chance of going in with it. So also as well, from an employer, I know insurance premiums go through the absolute bloody roof these days. So there is that risk rating as well that employers will take into consideration when you're doing the pre-employment medical. So yeah, just keep that in mind.
And what about for our younger guys at the other end where they're wanting to get into the mines? What about that? What's the minimum age we can get in?
There is no minimum age. I went in like I said, 2 weeks after I hit 18. My twin sister, our birthday, they picked her up and drove her to the airport for her first FIFO job. Generally for like apprenticeships, they will look at you if you're 17, but pretty much 18. You need to have your driver's license, right?
18.
In this day and age. Yep, 18 to be able to go out there. So yeah, that's that. Anything else?
Nope, not on that one. Your turn.
All right. Here's a favorite of mine. For all the whānau watching, is it possible to get a FIFO job in the mines in Australia from New Zealand?
It absolutely is, and there is some positions that will provide this opportunity, and that is more geared towards those drillers offsiders, all depending on also those skills and your experience. So, and again, depending on where you're going. So if you're coming to Queensland, and you've got that relevant experience and you're able to demonstrate that, and on the day, if you're the right person and their company is like, yep, this is absolutely the person, they're absolutely going to do whatever they can to be able to keep you and support you. What's the best way? Obviously, we do recommend people to enhance your chances and absolutely enhance your chances of getting into the mining industry quick is to relocate. But is it possible to be able to secure employment from New Zealand? Yes. Is it common? No, but is it not uncommon? No, as well. So it is possible. What would you add to that, Alana?
So is that a yes or a no? I'm not too... Yeah, no, 100%. If you are going though for an entry level job, where a lot of people contacting us, they're attempting to get their first job, an entry level job in the mining industry from New Zealand. It's not going to happen because candidates over here who are set up good to go, like
Ready to go,
they're
ready
ready.
to go,
Yeah.
like can get on the plane the next morning.
Absolutely. They don't have the potential issues with flight delays, cancellations, like, connecting flights, all that sort of stuff. So, yes, it can happen from New Zealand. It just depends. I'm talking like, freight liners and like, guys driving the big rigs and stuff like that. They can 1,000,000% do it. You might have to go for a longer roster, can be done, but for entry level, I'd say, no, you're going to have to
Yeah,
move.
and that's it. It's also pretty unlikely to happen on your first swing. It's something that is or on your first job. It's something that you would build up a relationship with an employer, and they value you and they see you and they go, yeah, this is, we want to keep you. We want to support you to come here if you want to go back to New Zealand.
Yes, 100%.
Okay, Alana, tell me, what are the tickets that I need to get into the industry? And what are the minimum requirements that I would need? The top 3 minimum requirements at a bare minimum. And can I do this outside of Australia?
Yeah. Firstly, to get any mining job, the bare thing that you need is a manual Australian, in most cases, driver's license. You can use a Kiwi license and they can be valid for up to 3 to 6 months, depending on the employer and the job. Now, we get this question of what tickets do I need for a mining job all the time? And it is so specific to what job that you want. Do you want a driller's offsider role? Because then you're going to need the HR, first aid, white card, police certificate. Do you want to get a TA role? Then you're going to need gas tests, working at heights, confined spaces, like your white card. Your white card is one of the best cards that you can go and get right now that you cannot get, however, if you are outside Australia. A lot of the things that you're going to need, you're going to have to get Australian tickets. Do not go, if you're in New Zealand, go off and buy every New Zealand ticket under the sun thinking that you're going to be able to just come over here and it's going to be valid in
No,
Australia.
no.
And
And your wheels, tracks, and rollers, you're still going to have to get your RPL, or you're still going to have to get signed off that you can actually do this.
Absolutely. And for people that are in New Zealand, I always say, right, if you're contemplating coming to Australia, you've already got the tickets, you've already got the experience, get footage of you competently operating that dozer or the Moxie or whatever, because there are some companies over here that will actually give you the RPL without putting you through the whole course again. And get in contact with us. This is where I always say as well, through our career consultation sessions, we literally can get to the bottom of what your goals are and then reverse engineer it and say, okay, don't waste your money on confined space, working at heights and gas test atmospheres if you want an excavator role, because you don't need that. Or if you are wanting a TA role, why the hell are you getting an articulated like dump truck? So I would highly suggest, right, these cost $20 for a 20-minute session with our team. We have literally saved people thousands of dollars by not wasting money on tickets or qualifications that they do not need. So if you, back to your question, the top 3 are driver's license, right? So driver's license, white card, police certificate. Those are the main ones that you're going to need. The white card and police certificate, you're going to need to be in Australia to get those. You need an address to get the white card. You can't get it without. So that's what I'd say. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. But I would say as well, like, I can't reiterate this more. Like, in our sessions, we can save people like tens of thousands of dollars by not wasting money on tickets. So if you do want to book in with us, get in contact with us. No doubt the email address will be somewhere floating around this video. Okay. Did that answer that? Anything to add?
Yeah, no, that was perfect.
It was a brain dump, that one. Okay, the next one. This is one question that we get asked as well, and like all the time, and it's like it's such a, like, how long is a piece of string question. How much money can I excuse me, how much money can I be expecting to make in specific jobs? Like, oh, Amanda.
That would be like saying how, like that it's just impossible because there's so many different pathways. And look, I think for what a good example would be, is we can be having a driller's offsider like at an entry-level position starting at around $110,000 a year. A utility can be like starting a 2-in-1 position at around $80,000 to $90,000 a year. Depending on what trades assistant position you might get, you might be looking at 35, and depending on how experienced you are, you could be looking at $65 an hour. So anywhere between $35 and $65 an hour. It really depends on your obviously the value that you bring, but your ability then to be able to network inside and your ability to be able to upskill inside. So if you're just, if you're just wasting your money at the wet mess and, not saving it and banking it and making more bank, then that's on you. But look, at a minimum kind of thing, you can be looking at around that 80 to 90,000. And I think an important thing to also note on this one, Alana, is everyone that's after a dump truck traineeship, a dump truck traineeship can only be paying around 90,000. So 90
Absolutely.
to so there's other jobs that you can be looking at that are paying more.
Yeah. Oh, 1,000,000%. And can I just reiterate with that one? There are so many key factors like the swing rotation, the project, is it construction or production? Like,
Production, yeah.
yeah, is it a 2-in-1 roster or is it a 2-in-2 roster? There are so many different factors that people need to take into consideration. And that's going to be dependent on where you're located, what job you're going after, the employer. Is it an 8-and-6 versus a 4-and-1? Because there's going to be a significant amount of difference in even companies, company to company pay different amounts. So it really depends. Like I did 2 different bus driver jobs. The minimum one was $36 and the maximum one was $80 an hour. So like on a 12-hour shift, you're banking over
And
1,000.
doing the same job. Yeah. Yeah. I'm the
Absolutely.
same. I had diversity
100%.
in mine. Okay, best entry level jobs. This is
Okay.
a question we get asked a million times a day across all platforms and through our consultations, but let's go with the top 3.
All right, top 3. If you are young, fit, healthy, and like driven by cash, number 1, without a doubt, is a driller's offsider role. Like this, you are going to earn the most amount of cash. There are entry-level drillers offsider roles now paying $150,000. I kid you not. It is nuts. To get one of those jobs, HR driver's license, first aid, police certificate, white card. It is that simple. If you are fit, can pass the medical, and the medicals are the most intense medicals out there right now. If you can pass that, and potentially you want to go out there for the longer swings of the 4-and-2s, they've also got 3-and-1s, 2-and-1s, 2-and-2s, then bang, you can go and walk into one of those jobs. If you need help getting one, contact us.
And just on that, with the drillers offsider, what can I be looking to make after 3 years?
Oh my God, the sky's the limit. Again, it comes down to the project, the swing rotation, whether you actually make it up the ranks, whether you get the driller's certs, you can potentially be on over 200K. It just depends on so many factors. If you end up, well, I've seen guys go through the ranks in a one contract that we had, and they literally went in 6 months and got their full quals. They were ridiculously good at their job and they got like promoted really fast. So it just really depends on the person. The next job, Amanda, I think I need to have a break. You talk about this last. The
next one is the one that I took in and the career pathway that I took in, and that is the utility. And this is ideal for anyone that's got limited skills or limited background experience, but amazing for anyone that's a disability support worker, anyone that's worked in aged care, anyone that's worked in hospitality. If you've been doing domestic cleaning, commercial cleaning, working in a bar, working in a restaurant, working with food, anyone that's been working, aged care and disability support, like these are really highly regarded skills within the utility. And with the utility position, again, it's really key to be able to make note of this. It depends on your swing. It depends on how many days you're working versus the project, the company, but you can be looking at around that 80 to 90,000 for a utility, and that's working at two weeks on and 1 week off as a utility. And it's great for career progression. Absolutely fantastic for career progression. And our third one, Alana?
Oh, what tickets do they need for that, Amanda?
For a utility, you can start with the basic bare minimum, which is a driver's license, white card, and police clearance. And then if you want to elevate yourself a little bit more, you can go with a free food handling course. You can go RSA. You can also go any chemical handling type of free courses.
Yep.
And you can also go first aid.
100% hats up if you really want to work your way into
Yeah.
the kitchen. Definitely. And like we always say, don't be a utility snob, but that is most people's entry level job to get into the industry. Where you go after that, the world is your oyster. Cool. But
Absolutely. Third
number
one.
three, yeah, right, on the entry level jobs, I always say TA, right? Why not? A trade assistant, basically, again, there's so many factors on the roster, whether it's construction, production, it's generally you're just assisting different trades. You might be barricading an area, setting it up, getting all their tools ready. You might be working, like helping the welders out. You might be going and picking up
Refueling.
refueling, going to pick up like equipment from town and come back or Karratha to
Going to go
take
pick up
rest of
guys from the airport.
yeah, 100%. So that can be an amazing opportunity to like get in. You need your, like I said, white card. This is a big one. Just take that into consideration. White card across the board. Just go get it. It's easy to get. You can do it online, $70 or whatever, done. It will elevate you over somebody else that doesn't have it, basically.
Yeah.
And most companies will ask you for it anyway. And the white card is the construction induction, which allows you to work on construction sites. When you hear construction, think money, ching ching, because that's where the money is.
Yeah.
That's for me. All right, TA, back to that. What are you going to need? Potentially an EWP license, working at heights, gas tests, atmospheres, and confined spaces. Bang. If you've got an
And
HR driving
HR.
license, HR, yeah.
Yeah.
Got an
We're
HR, that'll
seeing
put you
more
way
and
ahead.
more. Yeah, we're seeing more and more. If you want to increase your chances, we're seeing more and more positions now coming through as a mandatory requirement is to have a minimum of a HR. So keep that in mind.
100%. And the HR driver's license is the number one ticket I would recommend for anybody who wants to go out to the mines. If you've got the capacity to get your HR driver's license, you're heavy rigid, go and do it. It'll put you way ahead of other companies. And yeah, that's it. You're welcome. All right. I've actually already covered that one. So let's go different catering companies that you would suggest people potentially go to, Amanda.
Oh, where to start? We've got Sodexo, we've got Catercare, we've got Compass, we've got ISS, we've got ESS, we've got Australian Camp Services. What else have we got,
Care.
Alana?
Oh my
I
God.
think I
There's
said Catercare. There's hundreds of
iconic catering.
Civio.
Yep. I would rate probably Civio number one out of all of them. I only work for two of them, and yeah, look, whatever. Well,
I
just
worked
keep,
for I worked for two companies that have folded into the others, that have now been acquired by the others.
yeah. The best one I worked with was my first one, and they were called Mindsight Catering, and they were such a great company. Like, yeah. Anyway, that was back in the day, obviously, but yeah. But utility companies, and they're basically hospitality companies, right? So again, easiest way to get your foot in the door, go and have a look. Just put utility or housekeeping or kitchen
Yeah.
hand slash FIFO, done. They're all on Seek, people. It's not that hard to find. Oh, what's going on here?
I've got a question just while we're on that. Would you recommend people go the HR or the HRB, and what's the difference?
HRB. So you've got three different classes. You've got the HRA, which is automatic, allows you to drive automatics, funnily enough, and on site. I'd probably say if we're going percentages, 90% of in fact, no, 99% of heavy vehicles I've ever driven on site are automatic. So yes, you can get past. If you're going for a dump truck traineeship, you only need a C-class license, believe it or not. The HRB gives you more options of operating vehicles that do have it's like a manual. So it is a manual. So you've got that one, and then you've got the synchro mesh, which is the double clutching. So those are really only if you want to eventually potentially drive road trains. So you don't need to go get the MC, the HC, anything like that. Get the HRB. It'll open up doors for you. It's a little bit harder because you got to do the gears and all that sort of stuff, but it's not that hard. Trust me. If I can get it, anyone
Master
can.
it.
Yeah,
Master it. Yeah.
do it.
Let's go with this one. Issues about police, well, background checks. Well, obviously getting a police clearance is a mandatory requirement. Tell
Yep.
us ways that potentially you could be considered for a position if you do maybe have some issues with your background.
Yeah, this is one on the daily. I'm talking to, like, if we do consults, it comes up daily, as you'd know, Amanda. Okay, there are
Mm,
companies, if you have got some, let's say, colorful things on your police certificate where it's just no go, full stop, they're not going to let you in. No, no, no. So these are things that could potentially be like drillers off cider rolls when you're going out for very long swings. They don't want, like, criminals to be out on these sites with their crews for long periods of time, but it depends on what the convictions are. If it's something
mm.
like, I don't know, theft is actually a big one, especially for gold mines. If you go out there and you're attempting to get a job in the gold industry and you've got theft, that is a big giant no-no for obvious reasons.
Mm.
Also, like, the really heavy, like grievous bodily harm, like big, like, if you get chucked
Domestic
in a slam,
violence, yeah.
yeah,
Anything that's quite controversial. And I think one thing to put on there is that it depends on when this was and
yeah,
depends on, how recent it was. If this is
the
something that was
severity.
6 years ago or 5 years ago, and it's potentially going to be off soon, and your ability, but also if this is a once off, I think that's really important. If you're a repeat offender, that's not something that's going to look great on your resume.
Agreed. Like, drugs and stuff like that would just be like, what's going on? Are they going to get on the gear when they're on site? There are a
Yeah,
couple of
yeah.
like different factors for this. So again, like if you're contemplating or wondering what category you fit into, yes, I have seen people get jobs with some very, very like whatever, I won't even say intense things, let's say
Questionable.
conviction. Yeah, questionable, who've gone to, like, been in jail and then come out and then they got FIFO jobs. It 100% happens, but it just depends, and it depends on your strategy as to what jobs that you're going to go after and the employer's like potential ability to take you on or not. Does that answer that one, Amanda?
Yes, yes. Sorry, the phone's ringing.
Oh
Um,
God, I hear that. All right, next one. What
sorry, what is
what is LinkedIn and why is it important when it comes to getting a job, especially within the mining industry?
it's not just in with the mining industry. LinkedIn is like consider it your Facebook, but for business, for how you want to grow your career, how you want to connect with people in those industries. LinkedIn is the bridge potentially to your next career pathway. So if you are someone that's wanting to get into the industry and you're wanting to exhaust every opportunity, we want you to be on LinkedIn, have an amazing profile, have it optimized, have it looking sharp, you're posting regularly, you're talking about positive things, you're not complaining and whinging and heckling other people on their posts. But LinkedIn is one of the most effective business relationship tools to be able to network your way in. And we have, with our job jump starter package, we have hundreds of people actually secure jobs through LinkedIn rather than going through
Thousands.
and applying through Seek. So, and we break it down and show you how to do that in the Jump Starter package. But that's really kind of it is a really effective tool to be able to build those relationships because you're not going to know who the recruitment companies are and who those individual companies are. And that's what LinkedIn can come in and really bridge that gap.
Yep. LinkedIn, I created a whole course on LinkedIn because it is the number one tool, I would say, any candidate looking for a job. Even I've got business contracts through my LinkedIn account. I have literally, LinkedIn is literally, I just cannot even, like, I'm lost for words. Where do I even start with this? LinkedIn is basically it. It's the way that you can go around the back door and actually get your dream job or get business
Mhm.
contracts without, and sometimes without even like applying for these jobs. If your profile is optimized for the algorithms, for the AI, it's open so employers can actually find you. It's got all the right information in there. I've found people and offered them jobs through LinkedIn. That's how simple it is. And you can go directly to the recruiters. A lot of people, well, they'll chuck jobs, resumes out in Seek or in Indeed and whatever. Like,
Mm.
screw that. LinkedIn's number one. And yeah, LinkedIn is how you can make direct contact with the person who is hiring for the job if you do it in a professional manner. Again, we've created a whole course around this through our Job Jump
We
Starter
show you
package.
how to do it.
Yeah, and it's all about as well professionally the way you come across professionally when you are interacting on LinkedIn. It's not TikTok, it's not bloody Instagram, it's not Facebook. The way you interact there really can make or break your career because that's where all the recruiters are. If you're not on LinkedIn, what are you doing?
Absolutely. So how can employers find you? Through a Seek profile?
This again, right? I always say LinkedIn is number one, Seek is number two. There are so many other jobs platforms, but I don't rate them. The only one that comes near is, I'm not going to mention it. But yeah, anyway. But basically, everything again is about the algorithms. Seek is no different. We've gone through people's profiles after, like, when troubleshooting, after even just doing a resume for them, going, what's going on here? And they've got the wrong email address. It's not optimized. They've got it closed so employers cannot find them.
Can't find them.
Yeah, employers can go through people's Seek profiles and offer them jobs. I know I've seen, like, in the past, employers like downloading my resume. That means that my profile has been, one, optimized enough. They've found me and then they've gone, okay, I like what I see. I want to offer this person a job. Download the resume. Hey, how you going? Do you want a job? It is that simple.
And the same thing for LinkedIn. Like the amount of recruiters that use LinkedIn, I've just been approached 3 times in the last month to be able to, go for jobs that, like not in this industry, that they've tapped me on the shoulder and go, hey, you're looking for work? And I go, no, I'm very happy where I am. Thank you.
You better say that.
What is an ATS? I love this question. This one is controversial.
How much time have you got? Do you want to start this or should I? Because
I can do it. You can fill in the gaps because I think I might have a quicker way of saying it because we might go spend all day. An applicant tracking system is the system that sits behind Seek and the systems that are linked into recruitment companies' software. This is a software program. It's as simple as that. But it uses artificial intelligence to be able to scrape through the information on resumes and determine who has the right information on their resume, elevating that person to be a preferred candidate or an ideal candidate. So, if you've got 2,500 people applying for positions, that HR, that recruiter is not going to go through 2,500 resumes and cover letters. They're going to get the heavy lifting done by the software. They're going to get the heavy lifting done by the artificial intelligence, and they're going to look at potentially 10 or 20 applicants instead of 2,500. And this applicant tracking system is looking for everything from how many page numbers you've got, how many pages you've got on your resume, what licenses and information you've got. Do you have photos? Do you not have photos? What is do you have the right tickets? Do you have the right font size? Do you have, it's literally scanning your resume for all of the right information according to that job profile. What did I miss?
Okay. How much time we got? Yes, applicant tracking systems, basically, they assist employers with the onboarding process, right? So not just filtering resumes and stuff like that, categorizing employees, candidates, should I say. It can do everything from, like, our one, would have automatic triggers sending out inductions, automatic triggers for everything, like medical reminders, absolutely everything, showing what site the person was on, where they're up to, like storing all of their qualifications. The CRM that we're turning into an ATS system right now is extremely, extremely detailed in what it can do. The functions it can do are everything. It streamlines the recruiter's whole onboarding and offboarding and figuring out where the candidate is up to, and just makes recruiter and mining companies' lives just easier. Like Amanda said, employers don't want to go through 10,000 resumes to find that needle in a haystack candidate. They want a list of 10 or give me the best ones or whatever. And the ATS basically does that for you in a nutshell. So it makes the onboarding and the recruitment process just streamlined to the max. Resumes are a massive factor within this as well. There can be filters that can be just absolutely brutal. So yeah, I've done page count, word count filters before, and it just makes your life so much easier when you put out a job and you get 800 applicants in 20 minutes. So that's why resumes are so important. Hopefully I'm cutting myself off there, Russ. We're talking
cut
about this
yourself
all
off
day.
there.
Okay. Page limit on resumes. We just kind of went over that one. Common questions asked at interviews. Let's go with the top 3, Amanda.
What makes you want to do this job? What is the interest? Why are you actually applying for this job? Is this something that, is this what brings you to our company? And, there's many ways to be able to answer that. We don't want to go straight to, I want to come here for the money. That's absolutely not what we want to answer. Number 2.
Oh God, that one there. Can I just surmise and go back to that one? The number one question asked basically by every single employer when they kick it off is, what do you know about the company and why are you the best person for this job? If you can hit it out of the ballpark with that question, I dare say you can answer half of the other questions coming behind it. And like that, the way that you answer that question is using what I call the 3x3 method, right? You're using 3 key selling points that you know about that business and then coupling them with the 3 key selling points of you and why you are that best person for that job. Again, that's one that I could go into all day long of how you're going to be like, okay, I'll give you an example. Like if you're talking about one of the mining companies, I know you're the biggest mining company worldwide. You've got like sites in New South Wales, Queensland, WA, South Australia, and you mine for blah, 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 whatever it might be. You can chuck in their values. You can chuck in whatever. So yeah, that one there, if you hit that out of the ballpark, I dare say that's the make or break question for me. But yeah, sorry. Number 2, and that's kind of 2 questions in one. So I guess we've hit 2. Another one is like, tell me about a time when you saw something unsafe. What did you do about it, and what was the outcome?
Yeah.
That word for word, that's actually, funnily enough, a question that a lot of the big mining companies use. You're welcome. So yeah, that one again is a massively big question where you've got the opportunity to emphasize safety and as well your ability to speak up, verbalize anything that you deem to be safe, and just to be able to like mitigate hazards. So that can be extremely important in the example that you use when you are actually answering that question.
Yeah.
Amanda, do you want to give another one, or do you think we've just hit? Can we
I
use
think we've
that
covered
first
it.
2?
I think we've covered it. Oh, did we only do 2?
Oh well, I kind of
Yeah,
merged.
I think we've done that one.
Can I just chuck in one more as a freebie then? How do you do, or tell me about a time when you had a difficult person to work with at work, along those lines. What was the situation and what was the outcome? Like that's another one as well. Big time. They want to know how well you play with others.
Yeah, that's exactly what they want to know.
So yeah.
And all right, this one here for all our dump truck enthusiasts that can I just put in here that before we actually answer this question in relation to dump trucks, if you've made it this far and you're still watching and you want to be a dump truck operator, I just want to put a little bit of a note in here and a little bit of a caveat that says every single person in the world right now wants to be a dump truck operator. Every single Australian, every single person on a working holiday visa, and every single person from New Zealand, Fiji, the Pacific, all want to be dump truck operators. This is the most competitive position in Australia, probably in the world right now. So you need to think outside of the square and think outside other positions that you are going to be looking into as well. So in saying that, what licenses do we need for a dump truck traineeship?
Okay. Can I just like tack on with that one as well?
Absolutely.
When we do our career consultation sessions with candidates, the number one thing that they always say is, how do I get a dump truck traineeship? And the number one objective of our consultants is to make them realistic of the fact that you are competing against tens of thousands of people. It's not just 100 people. It's tens of thousands sometimes people. So
5 to 10,000 people applying for a dump truck traineeship.
least. And then our objective is to say, yeah, okay, cool. let's
Is this
give
the
you as
quickest
many
way to get
options as
in? No.
possible. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And it can be done. We work with people every day of the week and we get them dump truck traineeships. But we also try to give people as many options as possible because that job is not for everyone. Like it's boring as batshit. Like seriously, if
And
you're
it's
going to
not
do
going to
something
be
like that,
potentially not going to be the quickest way in.
exactly. And let's be honest here, right? How many times do you see BHPs going autonomous? FMG, Roy Hill, they're trying to do
Yes,
autonomous
that's
right now.
really important.
Absolutely. So if you are wanting to do that, potentially look at civil jobs. I love civil. It's so good, so many more options. But to answer that actual question, the only license you need to get a dump truck traineeship because it's on private land is a C-class license. And some of them, if you go underground, you can do it on an auto license. Yep, that's right. But do I recommend that you just get an auto license? Hell no. Go and get your HR license. That'll give you
Yeah.
way more options. What do you think, Amanda? Well, I know that's your
Oh,
favorite subject.
it is the amount. Yeah, look, and I think it's just about being realistic with people and just saying, what's the goal? Is the goal to be a dump truck operator? Is the goal to get your foot in the door? That's ultimately what it comes down to me. And every time I have a consultation, that's the question that I ask because our job is to help you get results. And if you're prepared to wait, for keep applying for traineeships and understanding the ratio, understanding that you're one in 10,000 people, whereas you could be taking a different route to get in and then working your way towards a dump truck.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's absolutely. Last question, we're hitting off here with the difference between mining and civil. And I guess how we can I'm going to add another question onto this to the back of it so you can answer this double. How we can leverage civil to get into mining.
Oh, God. Okay. The difference is production mining, the mine is already good to go. You're basically dumping loads backwards and forwards. Like it can be quite boring. Civil is you're breaking the ground, you're starting then and there. There's so much more variety. There are so many more opportunities to jump on different equipment. You don't get stuck in a dump truck for like 2, 3 years. Because it's hard to move around. Right, civil, you can go off. The money is generally better because the projects are not long term. Well, some of them, this not the civil part of it. Geez, where do I love civil? I thought it was amazing. You can jump on equipment out there without having the licenses. If you're there, and you are there and show initiative, they're more likely to say, all right, do you want to crack on the loader? Do you want to crack on the skid steer? Whatever it might be. So there are also civil projects all throughout the metropolitan area, and some of them pay as good, if not better, than mining contracts. So keep that in mind as well, because we've used local civil jobs as a two-step plan to help people go from down here working in a warehouse, and then they wanted to get out on site driving the dump trucks, funnily enough. And then we worked with them to create that two-step plan. So
Yeah,
no answer that besides just ramble.
I did. No, it was great. This has been a great chat. Have we covered off everything? I think we
Oh,
did.
yes. So far, so good. If you are still watching this now, well, my hat goes off to you. Thank you so much for watching. We've just brain dumped all of your questions. If you have more, feel free to hit us up in the YouTube channel, Facebook, get in contact with us. No doubt the email address is somewhere. If you need more help about your personalized situation as to how we can help you to achieve your dream job, even if it is potentially a dump truck traineeship, feel free to get in contact with our team. I know Amanda will talk about that all day with you. Not me. But yeah, thank you, Amanda. It's been awesome having you on, and I look forward to the next one. If you've got any questions and you're watching at home, dump them in the comments section below, and we will compile the next list and do this maybe live. Hey, Amanda, what do you think?
Yeah, yep, absolutely. Let's do a live one.
Sounds great. All right. Well, thanks for watching. I'm Alana from Win Win. That's Amanda
And
from
I'm
Win Win.
Amanda from Win Win.
See you later, guys.
Ciao.
Bye.